This video lecture has been produced using artificial intelligence with the supervision of Belhaven faculty and staff. In this lecture, we will explore how technology ventures can intentionally design their organizations to support growth. We'll begin with the challenges that scale presents, then examine the critical alignment of strategy and structure. From there, we will investigate practical designs for growth, the vital role of culture, and finally, consider a stewardship perspective on leading with intention. This provides a roadmap for our discussion. As a venture grows, it often faces a paradox. The very things that sparked its initial success, the agility, the informal culture, can eventually become the biggest obstacles to its progress. Understanding this tension is the first step toward leading through it. You see, early on, that kind of informality is a profound strength. It allows for rapid learning and adaptation. But as a venture adds people and complexity, those same fluid systems begin to strain. And then, while they break, decisions slow to a crawl, and accountability becomes unclear. It's at this point that a more intentional approach to organizational structure becomes absolutely essential. So it's so important that we see organizational design not as creating bureaucracy, but as building a deliberate framework so people can work together toward a common goal. It is really about creating the architecture that allows a company's strategy to become a reality. This is a foundational concept for our work together. This brings us right to a foundational concept, the critical relationship between a venture's strategy and its structure. Getting this connection right is one of the most important things a growing company can do, and it will be a key focus for us. Think of strategy as the destination on a map. It answers the fundamental questions of where the venture is going and how it intends to create unique value once it gets there. This clarity is the starting point for all that follows. And if strategy is the destination, then the organizational structure is the vehicle you build to make the journey. It is the system of roles and relationships that enables people to coordinate their work and move forward together. Now, when strategy and structure are aligned, the organization gains immense clarity and resilience. But it is crucial to remember there is no one-size-fits-all solution. The right design always depends on the specific goals and strategy of the company. This is a point that requires careful consideration. So let's get practical. How does one actually go about designing an organization that is built to support rather than hinder growth? We will now look at some of the models and tensions involved in this work. You know, leaders often feel trapped between two extremes: too much central control, which stifles initiative, or too much autonomy, which leads to chaos. The goal of any scalable model is to find the right balance, giving teams freedom while ensuring everyone is still pulling in the same direction. This is a tension that effective leaders must learn to manage. A very common solution here is the cross-functional team. This model brings people with different skills, engineering, marketing, design, together around a single shared goal. By putting everyone on the same team, you eliminate clumsy handoffs between departments and ensure everyone is focused on creating value for the customer. It is a very powerful model in practice. For companies built on network effects, where the value of the service grows as more people join, this need for coordination is even more intense. Since everything is interconnected, one team's isolated decision can have disastrous ripple effects across the entire platform. This makes thoughtful design especially important. But organizational design isn't just about drawing boxes and arrows on a chart. We also have to consider the powerful and often invisible force of company culture, especially when an organization is growing and changing rapidly. This is a critical dimension of our topic. This quote gets to a powerful truth. Your organizational structure is constantly teaching your employees what really matters. Your choices about what gets measured and how teams are built send loud signals about the behaviors the company truly values, far more than any mission statement on a wall. When structure aligns with stated values, for instance, rewarding teams for collaboration, culture is strengthened and made real in daily practice. But when it contradicts those values, culture becomes merely performative, and trust within the organization is diminished. This is a dynamic we must be mindful of. The key takeaway here is that culture does not scale by accident. Leaders must see organizational design as one of their primary tools for protecting and nurturing the company's core values as it grows. This is a significant leadership responsibility. From a Christian worldview, these design choices carry an even deeper weight. They frame the work of organizational design not just as a technical problem to be solved, but as an act of faithful stewardship. We will now consider this perspective. From this perspective, leaders are entrusted with the well-being of their people. Designing an organization that provides clarity, order, and purpose is not just a business task. It is a way to honor the dignity of each person and enable them to contribute in a meaningful way. This perspective also serves as a critical warning. Do not pursue growth at all costs. It forces us to ask whether the way we are growing is healthy and sustainable for our people, reminding us that true wisdom involves building something good, not just something bigger. As we've seen, strategy, structure, and culture are deeply intertwined. This reality presents every leader of a growing organization with a fundamental choice, a choice we will now examine. The question is not whether an organization's structure will shape behavior. It absolutely will. The real question is whether that shaping happens by accident and improvisation or through proactive, thoughtful intention. This is the choice that lies before us. Ultimately, thoughtful organizational design, grounded in strategic clarity and ethical stewardship, is what allows a venture to scale with integrity and purpose. And so the question to leave you with is the one on the screen. What is your organization's structure quietly teaching? This is a question worthy of deep consideration.